Okay, so this time around we've managed to go to the hTC headquarters down in Slough to see the brand new hTC Vive. That's an hTC sponsored roundabout. And here we are in front of the doors which cover the hTC Vive. So the hTC Vive is not only the goggles. The hTC Vive is also the adapter that enhances the signal. You have to connect at least 6 leads to enhance the signal from the hTC Vive to the desktop PC. The hTC Vive is also the 2 controllers, and the most important part of the hTC Vive is that you need a desktop with at least a GeForce 980. Apart from that, you also need an infrared sensor that comes in a box. So the controller itself, you've got both, one for each hand obviously, is quite similar to the PlayStation Move. The goggles themselves are very, very comfortable, and you can even put them on while you're wearing glasses. I think that's the first time you can actually use virtual reality with glasses, like I do, for example. Yep, so that's the controller. And now I'm going to show you how to set up the hTC Vive. As you probably know, the hTC Vive is in development together with Steam from Valve, and then we've got the setup. So you've got 2 options. The first option is that if you want to move around your room, or the other option is that you don't have much space and you just want to maybe not stand still but stay in one place. You can also choose a standing only position, and then the Vive won't be set up as that. So now the little guy shows you how to move the couch and everything. You need to make space. You'll show later on why you need a lot of space. But yeah, you leave the controllers on the floor, and you can take the hTC Vive, put it on a chair or put it high up so that the infrared sensors can read where the goggles are, and they have to be in the center. The hTC Vive goggles themselves, they do have infrared ports as well, so those 2 points on the sides, they read where the goggles are. The next thing is putting the controllers down on the floor, so they can be read by the infrared sensors as well. And after that, the setup should finish. So these controllers have been synchronized.
Cool. So that's the floor calibrated.
Yeah.
The next
so it's all calibrated. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to measure the space. So you measure where you want to play the games, or
go to the corner,
watch the movie videos and so on. So in order to do that, you grab one of the controllers, you click by the wall with the trigger button, then you go to wherever you want to, you click second time, then the third time, and obviously a 4th time, which makes it a square. And after that you go back to the PC, the monitor, and you can see the shape, the play space that you just did, and the hTC Vive will make it more squarish, so you can actually see what's going on now. After it's all set up, you can see what's going on. So now you can see what the person wearing the hTC Vive sees, which is quite cool. You can also change the display so you can actually see both eyes, how they're working, and so on and so on. That's a simple task where you can blow balloons and try and throw them across the room. It also shows you where your room is. And what can you do? Yeah, and that's the different view that shows you the real-time view of the picture that's in the goggles themselves. Now I'm gonna try and move. As you can see, there's a lead going from the goggles themselves down to the adapter I've showed you at the beginning. You have to be careful because sometimes you can get tangled in the lead, but if you move slowly, it's fine. Also, you'll see in a second what happens when you try and cross the border that you've just set up. So obviously while you're wearing the goggles you can't see anything. You've got the headphones as well, so you can't hear anything. So yeah, that's me hitting the wall, trying to see what happens when you cross the border that you designated yourself. You can try and pick up things in the virtual reality, which you will see in a close-up in a second. Whatever you do is replicated in virtual reality, and believe me, I'm a gamer with 20 years of experience in gaming. I've never seen anything like that before. So that's next level. You've got Samsung Gear VR, you've got PlayStation VR, but that's mainly things that you do in like a standstill position, or you're sitting down or whatsoever. In here, whatever you do in virtual reality. It's basically, it is actually like Matrix. In order to, for example, turn on the computer, I had to plug it into a socket, then press the power button. You can drink a coffee in the office. You can grab that mug and throw it across the room. You can. I know it sounds simple, but once you're inside, you're actually in that office. And that's where HTC Vive excels. The next bit was painting. That's one of the second demo. It's so real. It's in like a proper 3D. So you know that letter. That's my name, Bart. You've got that letter B. You could actually walk through that letter and see it from every single angle. I can actually see some. I've actually seen on YouTube some artists creating so much stuff already on that. It's unbelievable. You can do whatever you like to with that paintbrush. You can choose the different paintbrushes and so on and so on. And in a second you're gonna see a video where I had to fight against zombies. I have to admit this was a proper scary experience, purely because there's a lot of zombies and they are trying to kill you.
Oh my days.
You need to get those headshots in, man.
Go for the headshot, go for the headshot.
Fuck! Fuck!
I'll just wait to the closer.
This is quite tense.
I actually can't. I'm watching it on the screen and I can't.
Now obviously,
I'm all over it.
Lads, this is only
whatever
wave
you
one.
do,
I can't even do it.
Whatever you do is replicated in the game, and that's the Office game. Again, like I've told you before, it looks simple from that perspective. When you're watching that on a telly, yeah, you can do whatever you want to. But once you're inside in that office, you move around. You can walk around that office and do whatever you want to, which is mind-blowing because you're literally in the game in virtual reality. So imagine, let's say there is like an enemy soldier or something, and you grab him and you strangle him or something, cut the throat or whatsoever. Whatever you do in like real life, you do it in that game, which is absolutely mind-blowing. That's another game which is called Space Pirates. So left hand you've got a gun, right hand you've got a gun. If you want to, you can swap the left hand with a shield. So if you you put it back and you take it out, you've got a shield. You can crouch, you can move around, sidestep, and basically you have to avoid enemy fire. Those robots, you can hide behind the shield, you can crouch. There are more and more waves of enemies. You can upgrade the weapons. Again, it doesn't look as exhilarating as it is inside, because when you're wearing those goggles, you're actually standing on that platform. and when you move to the side of the platform, you're like afraid of falling down and so on. So yeah, thank you very much for watching another episode of Quick Expert Reviews with an HTC Vive, and see you next time.